toast here. So we did that, but cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
That just means we're on 3 different levels right now, so that's okay.
We'll catch up.
So we have an important announcement to make. And this is sensitive to a lot of people in the pickleball community, mainly. We had to put Preston on the injured reserve this last week.
Yep.
10 days, no pickleball.
No pickleball in 10 days.
His knee. Yep. Tell him what happened.
I just got old. My knee. And I don't know. There's a lot of people that play pickleball that are old. Like you see the memes like where they're casted up and all this, have to play pickleball for a couple weeks. It's true. Let me tell you, it's true because my knee.
We thought we were going to lose him to gout.
Yep, gout. Thought we were gonna have to do surgery. It's feeling better, so I might be off the
Injured
IR.
reserve.
soon.
We're looking at it as like a 48-hour keep an eye on kind of thing. But we'll let everybody know. Just follow our X account.
Yeah, I've done a lot of stretches, so it feels good.
Oh yeah, he's stretching a lot.
You know what I watched the other day? Have you seen Receivers yet?
It's pretty good. I just started.
Just started. Like, okay, I'm a huge Cowboys fan, but George Kittle he's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a badass.
You started that show by saying I don't like that guy. And
I did. I was like,
I said I freaking love that guy.
Well, here's why. Because I went to a 49ers Cowboys game.
Mm.
And the fans were rude as hell. By the way, 49ers stomped the shit out of us last year. So, like, it was not a fun game to go to because anytime you go to a game, you want your team to win.
Well, yeah, you'd hope.
I mean, there was 49er fans that were like, wouldn't even high-five me after the game and all that. So I was like, man, F the 49ers, right? But then, like, I watched.
Were you in the Bay?
I was in the Bay. So I watched Receivers going in, not liking the 49ers at all, but like Debo and Kittle are like, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like, it's crazy what they go through, like mentally, and like how, like just as a person, how cool they are as a person, right? With sports wise, you just kind of not like that person, but like in person, it's totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of cool to watch. But did you finish it?
No, did you?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is awkward. We were supposed to finish it with Daniel over there.
I was watching it with a friend, but sounds
It's
more
not
like an
friend
acquaintance.
But you know what, though? I'm telling you, there's shows that you watch where you're like, okay, you can't watch it without me. And then, like, someone watches one episode, and then you're like, I'm never going to watch it.
Whole season.
I'm never going to watch it. Like, that was her with Game of Thrones. Like, she watched Game of Thrones, and I was like, well, I'm not going to ever watch it because you watched it without me.
I know, and then I made you watch it.
Then you made me watch it, and then we binge watched it.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of boobies.
Lots of boobs. I
Lots.
told you that.
It didn't click until I actually saw the boobs.
And you're like, oh, boobs.
Boobs. I was like, oh, that's perfect. Oh, by the way, I guess we should introduce our guest.
Oh, you're still here?
You're still here?
Hi, guys. My name is Nikki. I'm from Detroit.
Oh, nice. What do you do, Nikki?
Right now, I'm making coats for horses.
That's cool.
So-
Does it take a lot of, like, fabric or is it, like, different kind of fabric you use for the horses?
Or is it just tarps? Or
Is it tarps?
Well, it depends. Custom orders, I mean, you can really pick
Cool.
and choose what type of fabrics. But, horses get cold in the winter.
Do you do, like, a fashion show with the horses?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like, they go on the stage and they, like...
Is there like a fashion week for horses?
Yeah, and it's in September, so it's coming up. Yeah.
Oh, because it's a little bit colder.
Yeah.
So you want to do it in the summer.
You want
No.
for the fall special.
Yeah. In the summer, we make kind of like a sheer, coat for them, so they can kind of prance around and.
What do you mean
It's
by
really
sheer?
beautiful.
Hoof around. Hoof?
You're just hoofing around.
They were just hoofing around. Oh, what are you doing? I'm hoofing around.
Yep.
You get back over
They're
here,
just prancing
Junior.
around, and it's really
Do you
majestic.
do you do like a Halloween episode where you dress them up as like
Episode.
like a show, like you dress them up as like unicorns and
Yeah, of course.
not horses?
Why wouldn't you just get a real unicorn?
A lot of them go as ghosts, but some of them like to be witches. So
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
preference.
You just never know. All right. Well, that's pretty cool.
They'll usually let you know what they like.
Oh. If you give them enough carrots, they'll tell you everything. It's
And
like
sugar
carrots to
cubes.
horses, like beer to people. Like you just feed them enough. And they're
Sugar
like,
cubes.
let me tell you something. Sugar cubes. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, you just.
What do
feed
you
it.
think, Casper?
Tell us all
Oh, you
about
like the ghost horses? Of course you do.
sure you do.
You think you can float through?
Yeah, we tried to take him on the boat in Virginia Beach, and he just went right through it.
He went right through it.
Yeah.
He just floated alongside the thing,
Yeah,
like a dolphin.
it's kind of annoying because they must pay for his seat.
I know it's
And
stupid.
I was like, dude, he's outside the boat.
Yeah, he's probably the only person to throw up. By the way,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not pretty.
we went on a fishing boat in Virginia. We went to Virginia, but
Virginia Beach.
Virginia
in the ocean.
Beach in the ocean. But we went on this fishing boat. 17 people.
Yeah, great time.
10 out of 10.
Wonderful.
There was probably some people that had a couple too many sodas the night before. I would say sodas.
Too many root beers.
Root beers. And so we go on this boat and it felt like it was going up and down like
It felt it was.
you
You're talking about.
It's-
Those waters were choppy, dude.
They were.
They're a little choppy, but I took some magic medicine so I felt better. Just some Dramamine, which you should have took, but
Yeah. I chose to eat breakfast, which I usually don't do,
Yeah.
and then down a large coffee
oh
That was your
as I
downfall.
got on the boat.
oh it was-
Yeah.
I mean, we all stopped at Starbucks, and
Oh, yeah.
I had oatmeal and iced tea. So, but I did get sick on the boat. I just didn't throw up.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's a little sick at the beginning, but like
I did good for 2 hours. I timed it.
well, you kind of barricaded yourself in the bathroom. The one bathroom on the boat, like you barricaded yourself. You're like, no one's coming in here.
You could have asked every time. Every time I walked out of there, I was back in there.
You literally told me you tried to fall asleep in the bathroom, but the motor of the boat
It was making me more sick.
was making you more sick. And then,
Really, get me out of here.
and then there's this big trash can, and Devin decided to like hover over that, and like I've never heard someone vomit like that.
Oh, it was bad.
It was horrible.
You could hear it from inside, like the main part of the boat.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Oh, it was
Yeah,
bad.
and he was just going, and I was like,
And
I
then
put my head down. I was like, help.
then you had the secret pukers that were like, "Oh, I'm fine," right, like off the side of the boat where nobody could see him. But
That was
did-
Jody.
Oh
Jody
yeah,
did that
there were some people that like, and all the kids fell asleep, and they're like, "Oh, this is
because
miserable."
they were nauseous.
But like I was like, but then we started catching some fish,
Hmm
so that was pretty good. Spanish mackerel. That was a pretty cool experience.
I loved it.
Well, I witnessed the first 4 fish get caught before I got sick.
Mm.
Like I trooped it for pretty good.
Mhm.
You did good.
Till it happened.
Mhm.
What we should have done is we should have shotgun a couple beers to kind of.
There was
Did-
a cooler full of beer, and nobody touched them.
We should have probably shotgun.
Weird. Wonder why. We were all
Mm.
sick as shit.
We probably
I'm
should have
like-
shotgun them first.
Yeah.
I had my hands up like this, like praying. I'm like, please, please, please.
Please stop the boat. So my sister was like, and it was funny because the guy's like, he's super excited. He's like, we're gonna go catch the limit of this fish, and then we're gonna go try and find like
A big one.
a big fish. I was like, yeah, and my sister's like, nope, turn the
She's
motor
like
out.
this.
And I was like, all right, now we gotta turn it back around. Like it was like I felt like a kid that got like his toys taken away. I'm like, right, because it's something that you want to do, but it's pretty fun.
We managed.
It was a good time.
Speaking of Devin being sick, what happened with Devin on this trip?
Well, Dev
He had to talk with you.
had talked with me. He did the whole, can I get your, your permission to marry your daughter talk, and like, so that was pretty cool. And he's like, well, I was planning on doing it down the road, and I was like, well, maybe do it here if you want to. He's like, yeah, that'd probably be better because all our family's out here. So Dev proposed to Tay,
Your daughter.
my daughter, on the beach. It was pretty cool.
It was
It
cool
beautiful.
because you could tell how nervous he was.
Oh, he was so
In the
nervous.
video, you could see him like kind of shaking.
And then she goes like this.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are
Was
you doing?
Taylor response.
Oh my god, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I'm glad we had the music kind of going in the background so you didn't hear
I don't
the words he was
remember.
saying because he was probably like stuttering, like, you know what I mean. So it was
Well,
pretty cool.
What's funny is when so they made up this whole thing where how they were going to disguise it was we were going to take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're all taking pictures, and then we take pictures of them. And she's like, I felt his heart beating so fast.
Yeah. That was
So,
really cool.
I mean, he was pretty nervous.
The ring story is pretty cool too.
Yeah, how cool was that we got to be part of that?
That was pretty awesome.
Because he'll remember that for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, so like he woke up and he's like, okay. So we're going back in time a little bit before the proposal, and he's like, I gotta get a ring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, just go to CVS. Just get like a $20
Or
ring.
Walmart, or what did I say, pawn shop?
Pawn shop. Like
Yeah.
pawn shop's a great idea. Like if you want to get a ring and it's a big, beautiful ring for $50, go to a pawn shop, right? So we're like, well, it's, you know, it was like CVS, get a fake
Get
one.
a real one later.
Get a
Exactly.
real one later.
Let her build it or whatever she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of that's what I did with you.
Girls
Right.
like
For
style,
sure.
they like their taste.
Oh yeah. So I was just like, I got her this big gaudy ring that didn't even fit her, but I was just like, I gotta get her.
But it was a thought.
It was a
you know,
thought.
It was a thought that counted.
And it was-
I
Yeah.
loved it.
It was like $20, right? Like,
Perfect.
I mean, it was like 40 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. It was $20. So, but like, and that's a whole nother story we'll have to tell you about. But, so yeah, he's nervous. We're driving around. It's July 4th, by the way.
Yep.
So July
In
4th
vacation town.
in a vacation town. So imagine like what's open, what's not. So like I was thinking CVS, we didn't go there. We went to Walmart. Fun fact: Walmart doesn't have a jewelry shop.
Like
They
they do
used to.
here. No, they do in Utah.
Just
Oh,
not
in
Virginia
Utah.
Beach
Yeah.
for some reason, right? So you're like, okay. And so like that didn't pan out, and then we're like, well, let's just go to a jeweler. So we went there. They're
It wasn't
closed.
open.
So then we're just all on our phones. Remember,
Calling,
we're
mass
calling
calling.
everyone. We're calling everyone. Then we get a hold of. Shout out to Jared Jewelers because they did a
Maddie the Baddie.
Maddie the Baddie. We'll get to her because you know.
Yep, she's the best.
And so we go in there. Nathaniel's on one side. I'm on the other side. He's right in the middle. Right. He's like, I gotta get a ring. Right. She's like calming him down a
Yeah.
little bit. She's like, well, what do you need? And you know, because he's like the whole time he's like, well, Tay won't like this. Tay won't like that. So he finally he's like, she's like, well, we can have these ready in 2 days. And he's like, I need it by tonight. And she goes, come over here. Like
Yeah.
finds the perfect ring, and
Under his budget.
under his budget.
From what it sounded like.
Oh yeah. And Maddie the Baddie, like
She hooked us up.
funny is because I was a little hungover, so I made him drive at the beginning. And then he like got the ring, and I'm like, "Oh, give me those keys," because he was like,
He's shaking.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
shaking.
In his boots. He was changing email passwords. He
"Oh
was,
yeah," because
He's like, Taylor's gonna. She's gonna check my location. I gotta kill my battery. I gotta kill my phone battery. She's checking my location. She's gotta be.
it was cute.
It was super
And
cool.
she wasn't. I was with her on the beach. She was literally just walking along the beach
Oh yeah,
and looking at cool shells and picking them up and then showing them to everybody.
oh yeah.
That's
and,
what she was
but-
and
doing.
everyone's like, "Oh,
That's-
she knows," because she's like, everyone's like, she's by herself on the beach.
No, she didn't know a fucking thing.
She had no idea.
Well,
She had
when we
no
went
idea.
to dinner the last night, she admitted it too. She's like, I genuinely had.
yeah,
no, she had no idea.
Well, the funny thing is like, because when we get to the house after we get the ring, these guys are like, yeah, she's just pacing back and forth on the.
But
On the
we
beach.
called to tease you guys a little bit on the beach.
She,
I called. We
Oh,
called.
it
she was
pretty
having a great time on the beach, and she wasn't worried about, I mean, I'm sure she was worried, like, where's Devin at? Whatever, but
Oh yeah, hello.
but she was so preoccupied with like walking and grabbing shells.
It was
out of the
her
water.
autism.
It was her ADHD.
How about that beach house though?
Oh
That
yeah.
shit was cool.
It was an 11-bedroom beach house that you could walk right onto Virginia Beach.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I mean, there was
We
It's
had
beautiful.
these cool, like I've never seen those before. They look like they'd be like part of the Mars rover that would haul all our beach stuff.
Oh yeah.
Those big
Well,
Oh, with the
here's a fun
giant
fact.
wheels.
Here's a fun fact about those. We didn't have that last year, right? So we go out to
We
Virginia
did.
Beach, but we had a cooler that didn't have those big wheels on it. And I'm trying to lug this cooler with the small wheels, and we were further away from the beach, and like you're just sweating because Virginia Beach, it's humid, and like so when they
You're
got
sweating
that,
even in the shade.
oh my god! So then they finally got a cooler with the big wheels, and then they always had like the
The
cart,
the
yeah,
cart with
yeah.
the big wheels.
But that house, though, I mean,
It had a pool, indoor pool. It had
hot
pool
tub,
table,
I
foosball.
Played pool every night.
play pool,
It's
ping
great.
pong, foosball.
Yep.
Like there was nothing that like they
I had
like
my
a,
own room with a dude. We had our own room with a freaking ocean, like looking at the freaking ocean,
It was a badass
and
house.
and a standing like shower.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was just nice to have your own bathroom, especially when you're on vacation and you're like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate to share
Oh,
with
yeah.
other people.
Yeah, you
Type
guys were
thing.
kind of lame on like the last day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, because I mean we're
Like,
older,
1 o'clock.
so like
You guys went at like 1 o'clock.
yeah.
It's because his knee was giving out.
Oh
His
yeah, that's
knee.
with the knee.
That's when he got put on the injured reserve.
Well, because I went and played pickleball in Virginia, and they're beast mode out there.
Away game.
Away game,
Yeah.
and you always get hurt at away games.
It
Like,
happens.
The turf isn't right.
No,
like,
yeah. And
you know what I mean?
flew, you're
Oh, yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't pooped in your own bathroom.
Oh yeah, so you're like everything's wrong, right? And so like,
Like, oh my god, these aren't my pillows.
Your internal clock. Your what do you call them?
Gerlindas.
Yeah.
oh my Gerlinda pillows.
Yeah, they weren't there. And then,
It was a fun time. That was a fun trip. But
Oh, it was a great
one
time.
of the
And
best trips
Virginia,
I've been on in a while.
Virginia is so beautiful. The trees.
Well, you know what they say? It's for
everything.
lovers.
That's what I heard. Yep.
Yep.
I
No.
plan on. I most definitely plan on going back there.
Oh,
Oh,
for sure.
I would.
I think you're invited on the next trip.
Your sister said that, and I was like,
Hmm
Yeah,
I'm
hey.
not gonna turn this.
My name's Nathaniel. How you doing?
Yeah.
Right?
I
Like
need a back rub. Like,
it was a pretty cool trip, but it was fun.
it was awesome. I
Lots
wish
of drinking, lots of good times.
a ton of drinking, beautiful fireworks show.
But you don't feel it like you would normally like with the humidity. Like you're drinking kind of one to stay hydrated, but two.
Hey, how about the pizza shop? So we take Taylor to get a rental car,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and he's driving, and I just go, pull over now, and he like gets us into this freaking parking lot. I jump out of the van. He can't even get into a parking stall, and I'm just vomiting.
Mind you, this is after the fishing trip though.
But I'm sick from the fishing
From the
trip.
fishing trip.
I can't keep any electrolytes in.
Yeah.
No water. This guy comes out. Props to him. He gave me a souvenir pizza cup
With water in it.
with cold
Oh,
water,
man.
with ice cubes and cold water. And he goes, "Bro, you really need to stay hydrated." And I tried to turn down the water, and he goes, "Take it." And I was like, "I got a water bottle." He's like, "It's cold. Take it."
Do you think you would have hung out with him?
But you know what?
I think I would have invited him back to the beach house.
I think
It's not mine to invite, but yeah.
I love that hospitality. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
everybody there just seems so nice.
What? And we are like, I mean, we jump out of a minivan in flip
He didn't
flops
know what was
backwards.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
came out like I look like a degen, and he straight up he straight up comes out like that's cool shit.
I think it's because you came out looking like that. Like
They're like
flip-flops on,
this guy's
you know,
rough.
He's like,
Let's
here's
go
some
bring him
water.
some water.
Like I'm surprised he didn't give you a free pizza.
He's
At
like,
that
"Ooh."
point,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they probably saw the minivan because so fun fact about the minivan is
Oh man.
we're supposed to get a Suburban, right? And we get off the plane and I book a Suburban. They're Suburban or similar. So and we go to we get off the plane and we go to the rental place and they're like
Long line.
long line, longer than a Disneyland line, like longer than like an amusement park line where you're just like,
It was a busy.
It was busy.
time.
and it's moving the speed of sloth, right? Like it's slow, and we're like, okay, so we finally get up there, and I was like, it's Suburban, because we need the space in the back, right? So oh god, we don't have any Suburbans. Well, we need it. You know what I mean? And we're just like, can you please try? So
But here's the thing: the person in front of us, that was in front of you, he got a Suburban, and then this guy who complained 3 times,
yeah,
he came back in and he demanded a Suburban.
he demanded
And-
something big.
and he got it. See, that was our Suburban, but he got it.
Well, here's the funny thing is, the guy was saying that there's something wrong with the vehicles, and the funny thing is, I don't think he took the parking brake off the vehicles, because he would drive it, and then he's like, something wrong with it. So,
Oh yeah, he kept coming back.
oh yeah, I was like, did you take the parking brake off the car, right? So we wound up with the minivan. That's how we got that. But shout out to the girl at Budget.
She was awesome.
She was awesome, right?
She was
you
super
forget
awesome.
the line that you were in, and So she did a pretty good job, right?
Oh, for sure.
So that's how we got the van. So
And it worked perfectly.
oh yeah, we were supposed to be cool, but that's probably why, going back to your story of why they felt bad, is because you jumped out of the minivan.
A minivan.
Like a minivan, like, and you're like, "Wah," and they're like, oh, he's
Oh.
probably got a full family of kids in there. Like,
We gotta bring him some
we're
water.
gonna bring him some water. His wife is probably yelling at him right now.
Oh,
The kids
man.
are screaming. Like, it was pretty fun. But speaking of that, though, have you ever gone somewhere and like just met somebody, just most random person, and like just had a great conversation with them?
Like a random
Oh yeah,
conversation with a stranger.
I have.
Really?
When I went down to Texas, I went to Clean.
Do you have like an idea of like time? Like, was this like last week?
no,
Was
no,
this-
sorry. This was 2013.
Okay, so
And-
before me.
What
All
part of Texas?
Just-
Before her current marriage.
yeah.
When you were with your last wife.
Yep.
Editor.
No.
So yeah, 2013, I went down to Killeen, Texas. I was down there. I went to Fort Hood for a trial. Super sad, but anyway, I was at this hole in the wall bar in a trailer
In a trailer.
where you could smoke cigarettes inside of it. And that was when I smoked, so I was smoking in there. But
Most Asians do, but all right.
I was talking to this guy randomly, and he went to the same schools that I went to in Detroit.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to him about all my old teachers, and it was the weirdest fucking thing
Isn't that weird? And you're in Texas.
in Texas, of all places.
So why were you at Fort Hood? What was that about?
I was down there for the trial of the 2009 terrorist attack.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was
So it was like a family member or what?
no, it was my ex's brother.
Oh really?
Yeah, he got killed down there in 2009.
Okay, so
It was a trailer.
a trailer. Like, well, did they have like beer on tap
Okay,
and stuff
so
in
here's
there?
the thing. Yes, they did. But people used to cut off their back pockets and staple them to the walls. But I had my first pickle shot there.
Ooh.
On the bar
Were you dancing on the bar?
was a cockroach that came
Oh.
running across. So that was interesting. But it was a great time.
So was it like Coyote Ugly for like, for like, but with the banjo? It was a white trash.
It was
battery.
fucking wild. That's all I'm gonna say. And I never thought that I'd run into somebody from Detroit,
Yeah.
of all places. But I mean,
I did that at Virginia Beach. Like I'm playing pickleball, and there's a guy from Utah in Virginia when I was playing pickleball. Like it's just
That's fucking
crazy
awesome.
how like you meet people and you get to know people, and they're like, "Oh, I'm from there," and you're like, "Oh, hopefully you don't know." You know what I mean?
what's your last name?
Yeah.
Like outdoor party with like a pool and stuff, and he's just like hanging out by himself.
Like Sting. He reminded me of Sting. From
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
From the police, Sting. Like he was just like this very like
He was like almost too proper to be
too
there.
proper to be there, and like because we're at
He's a serial killer.
Dude.
mind you, we're in South Beach, Miami.
Yeah, this
right.
is red flags.
Oh
might be
shit, bro. He travels so he can kill.
Oh,
We would have been his victims, but then we talked to him.
like what's his name? George Strait. Like, isn't he
George Strait, that's a country musician.
Yeah, but like, don't you see that like they like you see the George Strait where they're like linking him to like these murders and stuff. So they're like,
what?
What are you talking about?
have you not seen it?
No.
No!
So like they find bodies like at the tour sites that he goes to.
Okay, that's like if Nikki posted that you, Devontae. Is that what it was? I can't get on board.
Trademark.
I can't get on board with this.
Yeah.
Dude,
Let's
there's
cut that.
so many people who know who these people are. You couldn't even go to, like, ideally a restaurant. What's going to make you think you're going to sneak away from
Because he
your
was
tour bus, who you've been on with all day, plus band everything in between, even if you flew into the town?
well, that's a perfect alibi.
I completely disagree. There's no way you're just going to trot out of there and trot back in without
like on your horse?
Without having security, without
Does it have
having
a coat on it?
fucking assistance, without having
Plus,
something.
he's big enough. He's playing these major arenas. So you're telling me if he walks into any local restaurant within walking distance, or bar, or library, doesn't fucking matter. The odds of somebody knowing who he is because of the venue, the event, the amount of people in the area for the event.
So he has a complex.
No, and he looks.
I'm just saying that'd be kind of
Do you
crazy.
think he has a mask? That
He
he
could.
wears?
He could.
He wears like a COVID mask.
No, he wears like a different person mask. Like you know how they
That
like,
Richard
Oh.
Nixon mask.
Oh yeah, or like they
Oh.
actually have like you could be like an old person now. Like maybe he did that. Like he
No.
puts a.
That'd be cool.
He's like, come on, I need you to come over here. My granddaughter's over here, and then surprise, I'm Garth Brooks.
He's
Like he fucking kills him.
He's like, I got some ultras
Surprise.
over here.
And they're like, Garth Brooks, and then you know.
I
what
love your music.
your music.
I'm your biggest.
Can you imagine? You ain't my biggest fan. I
It's
killed
me.
him
Yeah.
two cities ago. Shit.
I need help with my music equipment.
Oh, see, like, hey, you want to come back? Get on my bus,
I
and then he just takes him to the desert because it's always desert everywhere, somewhere, right?
What?
Like,
Everywhere, somewhere.
somewhere.
No,
like,
it's
just takes
not
him to the
actually.
desert. There's already a hold
Where's
up
the
because
desert?
he has.
Where's the desert in Minnesota?
In the desert.
It's in the desert.
There ain't no desert in Minnesota.
Is that a country song?
Oh shit!
There ain't no desert in Minnesota.
Garth Brooks.
Not Garth Brooks
Garth Brooks out there
on
shoveling.
the we're just strangling in here tour.
Yeah.
Did I do it or did I not?
Yeah.
Oh.
How to
Is
get
it
away
me?
with the tour.
on the next Netflix series.
Is Garth Brooks the serial?
Oh
killer?
yeah, and then it just gets all.
This is Dateline.
Oh, I love Dateline.
I do
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh Jesus. So
So the name
speaking of
of this
serial,
episode is
speaking
Hell
of
Yeah,
serial
Brother.
killers, how was it growing up in Detroit?
Oh wow. That took a hard turn.
Only at Motor City.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
No, it was.
Did your dad work in the factory or what?
My dad was a chemist.
Oh,
Chemist.
Shut
So
the
anyway.
fuck up.
so you weren't allowed in the garage, right?
Yeah.
No, no.
Was
Yeah,
it
I
like
was.
Breaking Bad?
It
But
just-
like
we
real
just
life?
had one room in the house I couldn't go in. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, what's happening in there? Why are these fumes coming out from underneath the door? I'm kidding.
Are
Kidding,
you?
not kidding.
No, but it was good. You know, definitely not how it is now. I wouldn't recommend anyone living there, that's for sure. But
It's
That's
pretty
not
fun to
true.
visit.
I heard Flint's pretty good.
Just the water.
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was good.
Right
I had a
out
lot
the
of
tap.
fond memories.
That,
love
like,
it.
so do they go to restaurants in Flint and they're like, do you want sparkling or murderous water? like,
We just have bottles.
They don't
is that
even have
okay?
sparkling out there, buddy.
would you like some murderous water? No? Okay, whatever.
What are
They
you
just-
gonna do?
they
Call?
They just dump bottled waters on their lawn
Oh,
at this
yeah.
point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you would.
You call the cops and they just don't show anymore.
That's
they-
what I've heard. Never happened to me, but I don't live there, so
But it was pretty fun growing up, though.
yeah.
You
Oh,
didn't
for sure.
okay, look at this. So when you were growing up in Detroit, you didn't feel like it was a bad place.
No,
It just felt like home.
yeah.
I mean, there was probably like a good
I mean,
restaurant.
She
on the
literally
corner.
watched somebody get shot in her driveway, but yeah.
Well, we'll
no,
get to that.
no.
I mean,
Well,
Other than the killings and all that, like it was.
yeah. Other than the
So-
crime and the
I mean, I've definitely seen a lot of things that I shouldn't have at a young age. Like I remember I was at a gas station with my dad. One of the gas stations we used to always go to, and he spoiled us. He'd take us in there and be like, get whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I remember there was this prostitute outside, and she was hosing herself off.
out. Whoa.
Wait, excuse me.
Let your imagination do the rest.
Both is acceptable. I will allow.
With a hose from the gas station, and she only had one eye. I remember
Oh.
that, and I was like 7 years old, and
So
I was
she was
like,
a fast learner.
Were you like, hey,
I was
matey?
like, what's going on here?
Because she probably wouldn't have both eyes if she was.
Well,
a
my
slow
dad
learner.
ran in the gas station because he was getting gas, and I'm just
Oh,
sitting in the
did she
car.
go in with him?
No.
Good
Thank
You
God.
guys get your candy. Dad's gonna get his candy.
Good lord.
I'm just imagining him be like, "Put it in the trunk."
Literally.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I waited. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff growing up,
I'm sure,
but I wouldn't, I wouldn't.
but you felt like that was just normal.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you.
Plus, you
weren't like,
kind of need a little trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
if it's all handed to you, you're just gonna end up on fucking antidepressants.
you're
Right.
used to seeing the same crackheads walk down the street. You know
you wave
them.
them. Hey,
Yeah.
Ed,
You took my cheese, and they just start like talking to themselves.
bite their own ear.
Yeah.
There was this couple.
Were they-
Maggie was the girl.
meth heads.
No, they were crackheads.
Oh, crackheads.
And the other one.
Excuse me.
Yeah, get it right.
Crackheads.
Proper.
Proper.
They're God fearing.
Maggie and Bill. They were crackheads. But they were notorious to walk up and down Verner. You would always see them, and they would be walking real fast.
Do you feel comfortable that you just outed your
Do you think they were walking real fast because
Yeah.
they were walking away from someone, or they were just cracked?
I don't live there no more.
my favorite?
No, they were definitely cracked out.
They
My
were
favorite with those ones are when they're like, "Will you tell him to leave me alone?" And they're like by themselves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah,
Like-
leave him alone.
Like
and,
Fight
and
Club.
then when they were fighting, they would fight too, and it would be like, oh, Maggie and Bill are at it again.
Well, I'd watch that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure you had popcorn.
Well, my grandma's house
She's
was
like,
like
just Twizzlers and a Diet Coke.
right on the corner of Verner, and so I've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen there. She lived right next door to this bar, so there was an alley next door to her house, and then there was a bar. And on like Friday or Saturday nights, they would have so many Mexican cowboys there at that bar.
Oh, I can already.
They'd come out with their hats and their fucking shit kickers, and
That's
like
pretty cool.
Yeah.
it was, but they would get into fights and they would start taking off their belts and beating each other with them.
Mm.
And then
I've seen
we'd
that.
wake up in the morning and there'd be blood on the sidewalks and stuff.
So what you're saying is there was probably a good Mexican restaurant around.
Oh, absolutely. Right around the block, Armando's.
Was it? So it's good.
Oh, for
So
sure.
you remember that. So you
Mhm.
probably don't, like.
I've
So
been
it's just
there
normal.
a million
It's
times.
weird what like people think is normal. You're like, oh,
Technically, where I grew up is called Mexican Town. There's a
Well.
lot of Mexican bakeries, restaurants.
That's not what I heard.
mhm.
I heard you were from Little Tokyo.
Heard your family didn't want you to work in the sweatshop with them, so
Rumor has it he bought you on Groupon.
Groupon.
Timu.
Well, you're sponsored through Temu because you
That's
got your-
right,
Because
guys.
that's where you get all your masks.
and your
Go,
clothes.
go. Here's my link
It's in the description
in the description
below.
below. Go check out my horse
So
coats.
I think Nathaniel and I both want to know. Did you ever meet Eminem?
No, I've been asked this a lot,
Have you been on 8 Mile?
but
Have you been on 8 Mile?
yes,
Is
and
it as bad as he says?
yes, and ICP.
Oh,
They were
Insane
actually
Clown Posse?
yeah, they've made songs about the street literally that
Are
my
you part of it?
no fuck no.
Would you mind going and putting on some clown
I got
makeup? What, editor?
you. Yeah.
Could you imagine if we had those kind of skills? We could like make her look like a clown.
No.
but there's a lot of good. Okay, so grew up in Detroit.
Great times.
Great times.
memories.
What did you do for fun in Detroit besides crack?
Well, when there wasn't crack available, I would just go walk around with my best friend, and we would throw rocks at windows and eggs.
Well, let me ask you this:
And
was your best friend real or not?
oh, she's real. She lives in Texas.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
hold
Okay.
on. Hold on.
She does.
Because you mentioned you went to Texas. a
Okay,
couple
wait. Did you
times.
really throw rocks at windows?
You're
'Cause there's
going to
abandoned.
hell.
I was a bad girl.
Were they?
I
Were
did
they
some bad
abandoned?
things.
Were like? Did you like? So was there like 4 houses that
Oh
were
yeah,
abandoned?
abandoned. There was this apartment building that was close to my house in Detroit. Not my grandma's house, my house.
Yeah.
And we would throw rocks at it. But also, our neighbor
Did
to,
anyone
to
ever
the
say,
left of
"Ow"?
us. No, it was
Oh.
abandoned. Our neighbor to the left of us, we would take eggs and we would throw them at his house from our backyard,
Oh wow.
and they would get so fucking mad.
Did
They knew it was us.
Well, yeah, you're the neighbor. Like,
They knew it was us, but we did it anyway. And then our other neighbor on the other side, they had so the walkway to our backyard.
yeah.
You could see the windows into their house, into like their basement, and you could see like these giant cockroaches in there. It was
So
disgusting.
cockroaches are big there.
Not really, but you
Just
could
at that house.
at their house, man. She
They
was
were
a
like
witch.
on stair.
We used to say she was a witch. They had this giant pine tree, and they would put like lights around it, and we would take the lights off. Okay, and we'd bust them on the sidewalk. We were
What
horrible.
is wrong with you? Like
You're
was
so
just
mean.
We were horrible kids.
So you were just like.
And you know what
That
else
was
we
like-
used to do? We would put eggs in snowballs and throw them at people's cars.
Good God, what's wrong with you? Like I would like
I'm
I
telling
would
you.
never do anything bad like that.
That's not what I heard.
Yeah.
I used to ring people's doorbells and run away a lot. We won't say the real word for that.
Doorbell bitch.
Oh yeah,
Doorbell
that,
bitch?
that's the word.
What did
That's the
you?
word. That's the word.
What? What did you have for
We won't talk about that.
it? Okay, well,
Yeah, it used to be called something else, but so okay. So are you a Lions fan?
I have to be.
Okay, but who's like your team?
The Seahawks.
So Seesaw.
Seahawks.
The Seahawks.
Yeah.
So Lions.
I
Lions
love
actually
the
did pretty
Seahawks.
good last year.
I know, I love that. And
Yeah.
my dad was a really big Lions fan and Wolverines fan. And the
Wolverine.
Wolverines did fucking amazing last year.
But you know, like, so we went out there. We went to a Tigers game.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty fun. Like, that was a cool stadium. Like, you could tell, like, they like the Tigers, right? Like, I don't like going to a stadium and it just feels like
Every other stadium.
Oh yeah, like they were knee deep in Tigers. Like it was a pretty cool experience. Downtown Detroit when we went was pretty cool. Like okay, when I went to Detroit with her, like I felt like it was gonna be like this big ghetto, right? But like there was a lot of cool places, a lot of good food, a lot of history.
You didn't feel like like it
I
was
didn't feel like I was
dangerous.
in danger. Like you didn't feel like
No.
you know what I mean. Like it was a pretty cool experience to go down there and see like the culture, right? Like we went to a party and
At my niece's house. And
Niece's
that was
house.
right around the block from where I grew up,
Yeah.
from my grandma's house.
but everyone.
Did you feel safe there?
I felt safe
That's
well,
how I grew up.
because we did have some gangsters, but like it just felt safe, but like the group of people that were there, like you would never think
All
that-
these people are hanging out.
that they would hang out together, right? So
Mhm.
like Detroit is just like this.
It's a big melting pot.
It's a melting pot. Like it was pretty cool. Like
Mhm.
you know, you had one dude that was like, you could tell he was super gangster, right? But he's cooking the food. Everyone's having fun. No one was like intimidated by anybody. Like everybody knew everybody, right? Like
Mhm.
so that to me was pretty cool. Like it was his family, but it was like a neighborhood family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool to hang out with. But that was fun. It was kind of a culture shock to see that, but like you're like, this is cool. Like I can hang out here.
I can hang out here.
I can hang
right?
out here, right? Like and I can feel safe. But like it was a pretty fun experience to me. But like it was super cool. So
And I took you to the store, the corner store, where
Corner
I
store.
used to go in when I was fucking 5 years old.
there's
Until
40 ounces.
it closed down when I was like, I think I want to say 11 or something. They barely opened that up. Like, I want to say 5 years ago.
It was a cool experience. But like
It still has the same floor if you haven't noticed.
yeah.
It was rough.
Some pimps might have been killed there. I'm just saying. They might have been baby slapped with the powder. You know?
Funny
You know?
story. My dad actually,
Killed the pimp?
no, he watched somebody get shot right outside that store.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So how many people have you seen shot?
I haven't seen anybody get shot, but I found a picture, like a Polaroid, out in front of my grandma's house one day, and it was of like a birthday party, and there was blood everywhere. It was like crime scene photo.
Really?
But somebody, I don't know how it got on the floor, but I picked it up and I was like,
So nobody was like shot on your front lawn or like.
oh no, somebody was. in my house. And,
Okay, you gotta tell us the story.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What happened?
So my brother and my I think my sisters were there. They were having a party. They had people over that were from across the street. They had their friends over,
Yeah.
and they all went to the riverfront, the Detroit River, where you can see Canada right across. They come back to the house because you remember how close that was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not far
It's
at
like
all.
it looks like it's 5-minute walk, but it's not. But anyways.
It's about 10.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the dude that got shot, he left his coat at the riverfront. But he was so drunk that he was going around asking people, like, have you seen my coat? You know, like kind of getting in people's faces. He got in this dude's face who lived across the street from us, who was not all there upstairs, if that makes sense. And
Crackhead.
no.
Oh.
He was just like mentally not all there.
Yeah.
I don't know why he. Anyway, the dude got mad and he went across the street and he came back and then he shot him on our lawn and then pistol whipped him after he shot him.
So did he die on the lawn?
Yes.
Oh Jesus.
I wasn't there for it. I was at my best friend's house, and this was one of my brother's like really good friend, and we've known his family for a long time. They lived down the street from my grandma's house. Like, this happened in 2004 on Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Yep.
Was not a very good.
It was
Friday.
not a good Friday.
This was
Not
bad.
for somebody.
Speaking
No.
of shootings, how crazy is this Trump thing going on?
It's pretty wild.
I know. I thought that was like.
I was at the gym.
I thought that was not real. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
But
When
like,
was the last time we had an assassination attempt?
Ronald Reagan. Yeah, it shot him in the ear, but holy shit, how crazy would that have been, right? Like, and what's going through your head? Like, if you're up on that podium, what's going through your head? You know what I mean? Like, and how do you?
He probably got a huge adrenaline rush after that,
Right.
and was just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, but like, okay, what does it do to you mentally after that? Like, do you like, you're like, you know, like, I guess there's like, you didn't get me, but there's some people that'd be like, I'm out.
Well, think about how old he is.
Right.
He got shot in the ear and the chest. The photo of him pumping his fist up, you can see a bullet hole where he got shot like in the chest and hit his armor.
Really?
Yeah, so Trump's not as young. Like,
Yeah.
Even a young person that would get shot in a bulletproof vest would feel like a mother licker, right?
Oh yeah.
So imagine being as old as he is,
Right.
getting shot in the ear and the chest.
That's pretty crazy.
That
But assassination.
Biden falls going up the stairs.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it's crazy, like, assassination just in general, right? Like,
Oh, look at JFK, right? I still think
mafia. did
that Secret Service. I
it.
think
Really?
yes, because they went out drinking the night before. The Secret Service did. They stayed up like all night. They were all drunk, and I think accidentally one of them shot the president. If you look at the trajectory of the fucking bullet, it came from somebody in the fucking back.
That would be kind of crazy. Like,
I'm telling
hey,
you, that's
like,
what
they're
happened.
Like, they're like, hey, shit, yeah. So we had to.
We fucked up.
We fucked up. Like, okay, we were drunk and like, like Sarge. I guess they call him Sarge. What do we do? And they're like,
I don't think they had the safety on the fucking weapon to begin with.
Yeah, but you can tell, like, a lot of people get caught with murder because you can tell which bullet was shot from which gun.
That's true, but back in the 60s,
They reanalyze it now. Like, there's a lot
They
of
could.
crimes
They
today that are
could.
being solved.
That is in
but
the.
that is like Secret Service. That's like
But there's a lot of like conspiracies for that whole thing.
they. I don't think they've ever been able to analyze those bullets.
Do you think they can analyze a bullet for Lincoln though?
No.
That old? It wouldn't be the same type of, like, yes, if they had the gun, like, they could put it next to the gun.
Can you imagine like you're just enjoying the night with your wife at the opera?
And then then you get boom.
boom in the back of the head. Like,
And then the
could
dude
you
jumps
imagine-
from the balcony.
This is so bad, but can you be like, oh god, this sucks. Could someone just shoot me?
Please, dear God, shoot me.
Please,
This is
dear
the
God,
worst
shoot me, boom, and you're like, oh
play I've
shit, I
ever
didn't mean
He's
it,
like,
literally.
he's like, I already took my wife to dinner. She's already had a beer. Now she's on dessert and a play.
Yeah, by the
Please, dear God.
way, the Lincoln
Put
assassination
me
is
out
too
of my
soon.
misery.
If it's too
He's
soon,
like, I can't afford this.
if it's
crap.
too soon for the Lincoln assassination, we're sorry.
It's
but-
too soon for Trump, and it's too soon for Lincoln.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that, like we were reading it. There was like 4 presidents got
Yeah. Garfield.
How about Jackie
Chan.
Kennedy being in the fucking inauguration with blood still on her
Oh, I'm just telling you, like you never know what's
from
going
her
on.
husband being assassinated?
Yeah, it's
That's
horrible.
rough.
Oh yeah, like it. I'm sure it's all right, but I'm glad that nothing happened because it's sickening in any way. Like if it was Biden, right? And
Oh,
so
we wouldn't want that on anybody.
we wouldn't
No,
want that anyone.
no.
Right? You know
You
what I
want
mean?
to
That's
win by an
horrible.
election, not
You want,
a-
yeah. You want to win by a
Yes.
vote. You don't want to win by assassination.
No. Amen, brother. God is good. God's great. Amen.
So speaking of that, why? Okay, so I have a question for you. Why were you in Killeen, Texas?
What? Clean?
Colleen.
Killeen.
Oh.
Yeah. So originally I went down there with my boyfriend at the time and his family because his brother was
The one that got away.
yeah,
The one that got away.
his brother was shot and killed
Oh,
at the
Jesus.
Fort Hood Army base down there in 2009. The terrorist attack that happened there. So we went down there for the trial. And it was really sad. But I got to tour the Army base. I got to see where it happened. And I got some cool coins.
Coins.
Yeah, trading
Pretty cool.
coins down there. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty surreal. I
So
would say
explain the coins.
the coins.
Yeah.
So
What do they like stand for? Or...
So what I heard is like, okay, so there's a lot of like police officers, people that will like trade coins to each
Yeah.
other, and like so anywhere they go, like if you're like law enforcement, military, like they'll give you coins from
right.
the area that they're at. So there's like people that will collect coins
Yeah.
from different areas that they travel to. So they just interchange coins.
So we all got coins
Oh,
while
that's
we were
pretty
there, and it was awesome. But I would never ever trade that coin.
Well, not trade it, but like anywhere you go, that they'll have coins.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you can go.
But that one was like, and I'll show it
Yeah,
to you guys, but I have to find it first.
you have to.
It's packed away,
it's packed away.
but it's pretty.
It's in your safe.
Yeah,
secure.
it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool coin, and it has the date and everything, and it's cool. But yeah, so yeah, that's why I was down there.
That's pretty intense reason to go down there, and then you found this bar that was pretty cool to go down to, right? It was a crazy night, but like,
Hole in the wall,
Hole in
little
the wall.
trailer. You could smoke cigarettes and hang out with cockroaches. You know,
smoke cigarettes. Do you want smoking or non-smoking? Remember when they used to do that in restaurants back in the day? Like, oh my god, like so that was
Before my
crazy.
time.
Like you'd be like there'd be like this smoking section in a restaurant. So you can go in there like smoking or non-smoking. This is like pretty much a lot of restaurants, but like I'm glad they got rid of that shit. But
oh for sure.
now we're there on this big topic of death. There's some people that died this
A
week.
lot of people are croaking.
A lot of people croak. Richard
Mhm.
Simmons,
Rest in peace.
put him up. Right? Like Shelley Duvall
Mm-hmm.
and
Poor
Shannon Doherty.
Shannon Doherty. Like,
Rest in peace.
but like, it's crazy. So get on this topic. Like, who would be someone that you would be super sad if they passed away right now?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Like, that would be pretty tough to deal with because
My
He's
whole life.
he's just been there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like you can put on any Adam Sandler movie and just watch it. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. But there's some older actors right now that are close.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood,
Mm-hmm.
Mel Brooks, right? Like there's
Been around forever.
been around for like, but come on, they've lived a good life, right? Like someone lives to be 100, you're kind of like, you know what I mean? But at the same
That's
time,
a good life.
that's a good life, especially 100 years in
Like
film.
Betty White. That was
Betty
that
White.
was really sad. But
That would be pretty. You know what I mean? I think Betty White was gonna live to be like 125 years old, right? Like she was just like, oh.
You think she didn't?
But Dick Clark, I think not Dick Clark. Andy Van Dyke or like
yeah,
he's still alive.
he's still alive.
like it's funny is like you look at these people like, are they alive? You're like, holy shit, they're still alive. They're like 90 something years old, but they're like some of them are like kicking, having a good time. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna live to be forever.
Jack Nicholson, he's getting up there too.
Yeah, I think it would be pretty sad if like it was like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's always been that staple.
Joe
of,
Pesci.
Joe Pesci, like they've been the
Yeah.
staple of these gangster movies. Like, I mean, they die in the movies, right? But like in real life, like you'd be like, oh shit, right? Like, who would be yours?
Mine?
Mhm.
I really don't know.
Wilford
there's-
Brimley. He's dead. No.
There's a lot of people, but I don't know.
So we play this game. Like, it's kind of a bad game. So like, Nikki and I play this game where we're like, okay, like it's an older movie. Like, so, okay, say it's something from the like 1980s, right? We're like, okay, who's alive or who's dead? Like, so we play this game like who's alive, who's dead. It's a really bad game, but like sometimes you're surprised, like, oh, they're still alive, right?
Watching a movie, I'm like, oh, they're dead.
Oh, they're dead for sure. Like
they're
that,
dead.
that dog's dead for sure, right? Like
That dog's dead.
that dog's dead. But like it's kind of a fucked up game, but it's okay. But
We're just morbid.
we're morbid like a mofo, but
What about you, Trey? Are you morbid?
No,
you're just Trey.
just me.
Oh, fuck.
You
Cut
know what's
that
coming
out.
up?
Header.
I'll tell you what the best thing in life is coming up soon. Football
Football?
season. Football season.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. Right? Like, okay, so so she's a Lions Seahawks fan. Raiders,
Yes, sir.
Cowboys. Right? So like we all have our. I have to tell you a fun fact is they both had a birthday. And I was like, how can I surprise them? I'm going to take them to a football game. So, fun fact, I took them to a Cowboys-Packers game
That's right. I was there.
in Arlington. So, like, it was pretty, and they're both like, we're going to a football game? And then they're like, but that was a good time. Like, there was, that, being on that field was pretty cool.
That's super cool.
I just think it's pretty cool to go to any stadium, right?
I agree. Completely.
So, what would be the stadium you'd want to go to now? Because you've been to a couple, right?
I've been to a few.
CenturyLink.
I've been
Seattle.
to Detroit, Seattle, Candlestick,
man.
So you've been to
Oakland.
You've been to Detroit?
Oh yeah, I saw him play the Jets. It was my first NFL game.
Were you scared for your life?
No, because the day before that we went to a Michigan State game,
Ooh.
Oh man.
and then the day before that went to a Pistons game.
So the trifecta.
Yep.
How
Perks are
cool
growing
is,
up with a single dad.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second because that's a trifecta.
Oh yeah.
Were you like in awe? Like
Boys trip. Yeah.
boys trip with dad. That's got to be probably one of the coolest trips ever.
Yeah, but I have multiple trips like that with my
The
dad.
trifecta though?
Yeah. So we flew out 2018 when I first started working for you. A year or two in, I was with Precious. She bought me Raider tickets. It's when they were in Oakland.
Oakland.
So we flew out and we saw Saturday. We saw Stanford play Notre Dame. They were both ranked.
Yeah.
Stanford came back and won. Sunday, we saw Raiders Chiefs. Monday, we saw the 49ers play the Bears, and it was Colin Kaepernick's first NFL start.
Oh wow.
Wow.
And that was Candlestick before Levi Stadium.
Oh wow.
Yep. So
you've had a couple of.
I've been to a couple of good ones. I saw the Raiders play the Seahawks in Seattle. That was pretty cool. I've seen the Chiefs demolish the Raiders several times in Oakland.
Yeah. Well.
I've seen the Eagles. I saw Jalen Hurts play. I've seen Drew Brees play.
That'd be pretty cool.
It was
Is he
cool.
retired now?
I'm a fan. I was a fan too. So
Well, we went to a Broncos Raiders game.
Yep.
I'm telling you, like
I've been to a lot of Broncos games actually.
But when the Broncos Raiders played, and we went to that stadium, and the Raiders, like
They
tailgating,
came back and lost. Oh, the tailgating.
Oh my!
All I had to do was wear my jersey and I was in.
Oh my god, that was just crazy, right? But like that was pretty. We actually had.
We had Denver fans complimenting, like they were like, "Man, what a game to see!"
Oh yeah,
Because we almost
2019.
came back.
It was 2019.
Yep.
I'll never forget it. But we had a good time because we went. So we'll throw up the picture because like I'm wearing a Cowboys jersey.
You, Joe, and I.
Joe's wearing a Bears jersey,
Yep.
and you're wearing a Raiders jersey.
Yep.
But everybody around us was like, that's what I like is like, okay, they see other fans in the state, but they're not trying to be like jerks to you in the stadium. Like they want to hang out. And that's when it's a good time, right? 49ers though, they were mean.
Yeah, well, it's a rough area.
It's rough.
I want to go to Chicago before they build their new stadium.
That'd be fun.
Because that's, from what I understand, that's part of Soldier Field, which is part of history.
Well, I went to my first game was a Chargers Chiefs game in San Diego, so that was pretty cool because obviously it's not there anymore, but it's kind of cool to like live that history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the campfire tonight.
Tonight was pretty magical.
It was a good time.
Heard a lot of stories. Learned a lot about you guys.
A lot. So fun fact, like, I was like, hey guys, everyone wants to go to campfire. Let's hang out. And you guys are like, no, we got a meal prep.
Well, in my mind, it's Sunday. You want to get
Not just
ready
that.
for next week and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So
And I just rolled up like 5 minutes into being at your house.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, we're going to have a fire. And I was like, I don't want to play video games.
But you were like, there's a part of you that's like,
Yeah.
So there's a part. So we're like, okay, we went. It's
It was
pretty
fun.
cool.
It was
it
fun.
was a good time.
It's just cool to like you get a bunch of people around a campfire, right? And like
Hanging out with your buds.
hanging out, right? Like,
Yeah.
And then you just
S'mores. and
S'mores.
Beanie weenies.
No, yeah, beanie weenies, little weenies.
Little weenies.
Hey,
Roasted
hey,
on
am
the
I
fire.
right? Am I right?
Yep.
He's got a little weenie.
That's what we.
I'm hung like a light switch. Off, on.
Oh, wait.
Oh, is that funny? What do you mean perfect? Like, there's just times when you have to be like, it's the biggest I've ever had.
Yeah.
Am I
From a
wrong?
guy?
You tell us. You tell us. man.
Yeah, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Ricky was clipping his nails and putting them
Oh
in a
my
beard.
god.
I
And a
heard about
beard.
this. I heard about this.
And you.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so have you ever been in a house party? Ever, right? And you do like, okay, let's do like, okay, I'm gonna open this beer. Mind you, there's all these beers here, and you're like bottoms up. So you grab the wrong beer. I grabbed the wrong beer. Guess what was in it?
What?
Fingernail clippings. Because my buddy at the time clipped his fingernails in a beer. So I do this cheers bottoms up. And so we do it, and I feel this fingernail in my mouth. It's obviously it's not mine, right? So I was like, and I pull it out, and I'm like, oh, like,
What did you do this past couple weeks?
I went and floated the Provo River. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Did you tell the group what happened recently? Not
Yeah.
the Taylor thing, but you.
oh my god.
He's gay.
That's the word on the street.
You would know. You would know out of all of us. Yeah.
What's the worst place you ever puked?
up in front of a girl at the bar last week.